Yeah, I had this conversation with my mom, and she's like, "Well, do you still believe in Jesus?" I'm like, "Well, I mean, I believe some of the teachings, and I mean, but I'm like, how can I live in a country, or I live in a state in Indonesia, Bali, that's predominantly Hindu, and Hinduism's been around longer than Christianity, and are you saying these millions of people are incorrect? Like, that's ridiculous. Like, it kind of hit me overhead. I'm like, oh yeah, we can't just be like, oh, we're right and you're wrong. I mean, that's where war comes from.
Yeah,
so we're right, you're wrong, and we're going to try to make you believe the way we do. So let's fight.
Yeah,
and it just made me. I don't know, everything. I don't know. Every issue has changed in my life. I think that's part of growing up, but also I want to live in a world that's more pacifist, more like people want to help each other. Like, I'm really big on, helping other people, and if you rise up, you can help this person, and they help each other. And I know it's just kind of
pay it forward,
kind of thing. But I feel like for what I see on the news and stuff back home and all this, we're losing that battle pretty bad, and everyone's fighting to get better. And then my way is this way, but like even like the gun issue, we won't have to go through that. But it's just like, why can't we lay down our right to have fun to help save someone's life? It's like ridiculous that we can't even get to that point. Like, or it's not. We can't even have a conversation about it.
Yeah,
I lost my best friend online, or my real best friend growing up. Last year, I posted something about like not even about taking guns away. It was like, maybe we can really control this better. Like, let's just do more checks, and let's have like a 30-day waiting period. Let's do all these things that can possibly prevent. If it prevents one, it's worth it. And we're not friends anymore. He got so mad. He thought, stop taking my guns away. I'm like, no, I didn't say that. I just said, let's do better. Like, if you can't agree as a society we can do better, then
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
We always should be trying to improve.
And I want to do better. I want to, and I can't do much from Bali. I can vote and say, I want to make it stricter and harder. But it's crazy that we're at this point where we're fighting over that. And
the gun thing is a funny one, because I feel like as a society we are moving forward in a number of different ways, but the gun issue we are not.
In America.
I feel like I've always said, and I might be totally wrong, but say for example, a president came in and fought the NRA and said, right, we're going to take your guns away, or we're going to make major changes, right? That's going to be the same as that's going to be the second Civil War.
Well, I was just going to ask.
I feel like that. It's like the same thing. You can't Civil War. You can't do that to us. We have our rights for slavery and so forth. You can't do that to us. We have our rights for guns. We have our rights to bear arms. And that the actual the whatever amendment is the second amendment. The way that it's written, it actually backs up the gun owners to take on the government that's trying to take the guns away.
Tyrannical.
You know what I mean? It's like it's basically like a prophecy nearly.
It is.
The Second Amendment,
Self-fulfilling.
How it's written.
But the sad thing is, it was written back in a time when you never had like automatic rifles and shit that could go. It was like really like I'm gonna
load.
Who needs a fucking automatic? Who needs an automatic weapon? Even just take away automatic weepons.
Well, they say they don't have. I mean, I don't think you can have one. You can have a semi-auto or
Gotcha.
But there's
to
even the ones that aren't automatic, you can still pump out a lot of bullets out of it, and maybe that's not needed. But like, I mean, I get it. People want to hunt. People do that. Like, just make it harder.
Just make it harder.
I proposed this to my father. I said, if you love guns and you want to have guns, cool. But if the government said, hey, we're gonna let you have your guns, but I'm gonna need you to wait 30 days. I need you to take another test, and you gotta every year have to have a psychological evaluation. But you can have all your fun toys and stuff, and you'd be like, yeah, sure. And I told my dad, I said, if you had to do all that stuff and it made it way harder and it's a little more inconvenient for you, but one person didn't die from those massacres, is it worth it? And he's like, yeah. And I'm like, and my dad's a conservative guy, and I was like, there you go. That's all I'm saying. And if no one can agree to that, fucked.
Yeah.
Well, crazy. You don't have to even take them away. Just make it hard. Like Japan has guns, but it's just really hard to get a gun. But if you really want one, you can get it. Like anything.
I mean, it's a fascinating, and again, I always try to look at every situation as objectively as I possibly can. I understand that I'm Australian. I mean, I was 3 years old when they took away our guns in '96 after Port Arthur. So I've never grown up with this issue being prevalent. Sure. But, I just think that, if you want a gun for the right reasons, because I just want to hunt, you'd be more than happy to wait. Because you're not doing it. You're not, like there's no emotion in it.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like I just want to fucking hunt a deer.
Yeah.
It's like great, man, do it, but just chill for 30 days.
Yeah,
you know,
whatever.
before you
Yeah,
want
it
to
is.
kill everyone that doesn't believe in your God.
It seems simple. But
It seems
it is a
so simple.
divided issue in America.
But you know what's really interesting? So we were just in California recently, which is largely Democratic, and we were having this chat with Jason Kleiper, you know, and the whole time, this is not just Jason Kleiper, but like we're having these chats with other people that were around that in that area, and you know, there's a left and then there's a right side of politics, but even on the left, they'd always say things like, "Oh, but it's just such a complicated issue." I'm like, really?
Yeah.
I can't see it like that. I'll never be able to see it like that.
Yeah.
I'll never be able to see the fact that like massacres are happening every day, and I'm like, you're telling me it's complicated? Like after children are getting shot,
that's
you know,
right.
like wow.
Maybe the complication is that there's money coming from certain people
Yeah.
into the government,
Yeah.
which sways
It's complicated,
decisions.
mate.
Yeah, but I think for the most part, if you're a human, most people want to save other human lives or take steps to do it. It's just that's what blows my mind off. Like lose a best friend on Facebook
That's the passion.
It's insane.
because of it.
It's
Like, and
so
I'm like, but,
passionate.
yeah, like let's I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's a long
One.
conversation, and it's hard. It's and it's sad too. But you know, hopefully we can get there somewhere.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's like always like, oh, it'll just take a big thing to happen to change it. But big
Won't.
things are happening, and no one's.
There's a mass shooting every day. Mass shootings more than 2 people, so 3 people die. And there's a mass shooting every day in America.
The young kindergarten,
Like that
that
thing in
saga
Vegas.
was like, if that's I can't think of anything worse than young children dying. Like that would be it.
That
You know,
thing in Vegas, like that's you don't
College
you need-
kids.
What's bigger than that?
YouTube?
Yeah.
Like, how much
exactly.
bigger can you get?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
And I was watching again on my basketball thread on YouTube where it just plays on repeat. I was watching
Is
Charles
LeBron
Barkley.
pro gun?
I was
If LeBron
watching.
got pregnant, how pregnant would he get? Well, I don't know. I should watch this 5 minutes.
He was pro gun.
It was Charles Barkley and Shaq, and it was after one of the recent massacres, and they were talking about they were very thinking and coming from the left a lot, although they own guns. They were very it was very interesting, and I agreed with a lot of what they were saying. But one of the things that they said, they were like, a gun buyback would never work because we have too many guns in America. I'm like, well, just because you have too many doesn't mean that like even taking. But it's not even. It doesn't have to be a
Took
buyback.
40% of them away.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a buyback. Like people will hand over guns.
Yeah.
If you say we're going to do this, everybody get on board. Maybe 60% won't, 65% won't, but people will. You know, like just because there's too many doesn't mean like we can't take some away and make it a little bit safer.
No.
If you keep saying there's too many forever, there's going to be more and more and more and more, and there's always going to be too many. Like that was another argument. I'm like, how can this, like, you know, let's arm teachers up. Oh, we shouldn't really use it. We could use the whole hour, but let's get more guns and arm teachers up. Who the fuck, like Mrs. fucking Smith in art class with a fucking, all right, I'll take him down.
Yeah,
like, that's never going to work.
I've got him.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's weird that someone who's like a French teacher would not know how to use a gun.
Yeah.
I will get you all.
Anyway, so Dave, so do you reckon, this is something that I've always wondered and I've wanted to ask you. Do you reckon, are you Bali for life, you think now? You reckon this is
I sound like my girlfriend.
your home?
I really like Bali, and right now my business is there, so I'm happy to be there. But I like being able to travel. I think we were kind of mentioning this. I like that this is a hub right now. Obviously, I want to be there for my business, and I don't want to step away from coaching and teaching and programming because I truly love that part of it. And like I think once I see a lot of gyms, once the owners kind of step back, you see a bit of a change and stuff. And I still want to be completely involved because it's my love. It's what got me there.
Yeah, that's
so for now, I really like being there. I have a really good lifestyle. The money's good there. The bang for your buck is really good.
Yeah.
Like I can live in a nice villa, I have a pool, and I have that hour of relaxation a day. Like I'd rather make less money and live there and have that little time to relax and reflect and kind of recover as opposed to just grinding out, through traffic and stuff. I lived in LA, I lived in Texas, and I really enjoy it. I like this little village mentality as well. I get on my scooter, and I usually see someone I know on the way to work, and I'm like, hey, scooting along.
Beep,
And, really, ciao.
Yeah.
And I like it for now, and I have a girlfriend. She's liking it too. She goes home to Austria sometimes, but she comes back, and we're really starting to get in this kind of good groove there. And but more importantly, like I can jump off and come here for 10 days. I can go back to this. I'll go to the States in August, and I'll go out there. My sister's getting married, and I want to go to the games as well. And yeah, so I for now it's living in Bali, but I can still go visit places and travel. And I don't know, it's not that it won't be the end, but I would like to expand more and do some other things. And the business is going well, relatively well, so I can step back enough. I have some good coaches in line, so I don't mind leaving for 10 or 15 days and coming back. So yeah, I dig it. I mean, I really had a good time here. I was like, maybe I can start coming here for when the weather's good. I'll start coming here for like a month or two, like maybe kind of train. I like to do more things. Like we're trying to do other businesses and things like that. So yeah, I don't know. Like for now, it's good. I'm also, since my thing in 2009 where I almost died, and value life very well. And I always tell people, not live in the now, but don't squander the days.
Yeah.
Like I don't mind where I am now. I'm happy and I'm healthy and I'm living good and training and eating, and yeah, it works for me. I'm not. I haven't. Since my little almost death thing, I haven't really thought like where will I be in 40 years, or where will I with this? What about my retirement? What about this? Like, I'm just happy.
Yeah,
it's a little, I don't know. Some people might think it's a bit careless, but I'm also very, very good where I'm at.
It's very strange that people would think it's careless, because like the goal of everyone is to be happy.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Dude, it's not good.
But it's not the goal.
But it
should be the goal.
It should be the goal. It should be the goal.
It's not,
exactly.
I
Yeah.
think,
I was so worried about it back in the day. Like you go, what do I do? How am I going to survive? Or what? I need to find a career. And I was the guy who never knew what I wanted to do. And like right now, this slotted in, and it's like it's exactly what I want to do, and I'm really happy.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm actually making positive impacts on people's lives, and for me that's great. And I'm still awarded the time to be able to. I mean, not many gym owners are able to leave for 10 or 15 days at a time, and I'm very fortunate to have a good kind of crew there, and set up the foundation for that. And right now Bali works pretty good for me.
Discovery Roger, go for deploy.